In breaking news situations, because things are happening so real time and you have the democratization of journalism, you have local bloggers, you have local people tweeting, and because information gets disseminated so quickly and people are now changing their behavior that if they hear something is happening, they are going to Facebook or they're going to Twitter to get that information, they're not turning on their news. You have to be in those places that they are, and you have to be there quickly, but you have to be there in a way that maintains, again, your journalistic integrity. You need to make sure that sources are credible. In order to get the information out quickly, you can't go through the same fact-checking process that we once did. So that's where transparency comes in. If you're transparent with your audience about where you're getting information, how you're getting it, I think they're much more forgiving than they once were. There's an abundance of crowdsourced rich media available to you in breaking news situations. If you don't have a workflow in place in advance to be able to sift through all the information that your audience and your customers are feeding to you, you're going to do yourselves a huge disservice, and it's also preventing you from taking full advantage of having all these other people in the streets where you're not being able to bring in information to you. So it's the crowdsourcing concept really needs to be fleshed out within your organization. If you're following local bloggers on Twitter, or you're following the police department on Twitter, or your other municipal emergency responders on Twitter, you can get that information. You can get a lot of rich media really quickly. And you also can be alerted to what's going on in a local level, and you can seek out that information. There are tools out there to do Twitter searches that allows you to identify content in those specific places that there's breaking news, that you can then curate, identify more reliable content or what the best piece of content is, and then use that to tell a story.
It's still, again, the best breaking news device. It's still the best, I think, hand-to-hand comment. If you're good at Twitter in terms of engagement, you're good at having conversations with people, real people, in these 140-character Twitter-sized snips. I think that's a really good symbol that you're also really good at handling engagement in other platforms as well. Not just Facebook, but also the way you handle phone calls, the way you make beat calls, the way that you reach out and have context around your community. Twitter is a great, if I see a newsroom doing Twitter great, and not just posting headlines, but headlines are important, but really demonstrating that they know how to have conversations on Twitter, I have a lot more confidence that newsroom actually does a lot of other things really well.
There's a breaking news story, and we get on the air with it in 2 minutes, right? 3-alarm fire, whatever it is, we're on the air. My anchor knows where they have to go, my producer knows they go to the booth, my production crew knows they set up the camera, whatever it is. We don't tell anybody to do those things. That's where we have to get with all these other channels. When that happens, your newsroom knows they should text and they should Twitter and they should Facebook, and oh, the promo person's going to take a behind the scenes picture to put on Facebook or whatever it is. We have arrived when all those things start happening automatically in our newsroom.